Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Earth 2 Bojack as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. Love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. And we'll start with the Earth 2. I do have to make this quick today, so I'll try to be as efficient as possible. Shane Isaac goes and tweets, the Earth 2 version 1 pre-alpha will be heavily focused on exploring with your avatar, but let's not forget some other changes that it'll bring. Some might not see it, but when I see footage like this, I visualize a pre-alpha era where I'm playing the eco-sim, top-down view, building, planning, trading, routing logistics, troops, machinery, ships, this list goes on. I think that we're probably pretty protected by the world's oceans if you gain land down in Antarctica in my megacity, link down below. We are very well protected. Anyway, he goes and says, this footage was recorded months ago, but I often watch it and enjoy and let my imagination run free for a moment. I wonder if others can visualize what I see when watching. This excites me almost as much, possibly more, being a lover of RTS than than the main third-person view of the pre-alpha will launch with. But on second thought, it is pretty cool running around exploring Earth 2 version 1 as an avatar, so I like both. I often receive little clips or screenshots of progress team members are making when I don't have time to check out builds. I do like watching and rewatching footage like this because it reminds me that we are edging closer and closer to getting players united with their virtual land and excited of all that will be. I won't play the sound, but I can go and play some of the version here where he goes, again, it is a top-down view, and from that you can see the Mentar's over there in the middle. He's buying a square or rectangle of land. I think a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square, that type of deal. And you can see this isn't exactly tile artwork. A couple of people have just bought X amount of things of land. But there is tile artwork. There usually is generally competitions going on who can make the best tile artwork. That was pretty cool. I've done a bunch of giveaways with that as well. They do want to try to get the white paper out by the end of this year. If they can, great. If not, we'll get it in Q1. Right after the white paper comes out should be some marketing for the token. I do believe within the first half of 2024, we do get that token listing. We'll probably be on a couple small exchanges first, then towards the Bitcoin halving more and more, after the Bitcoin halving more and more. So again, really, really excited for this. I guess I will, now that we're talking about the Essence token, I can talk about Bojack and the OMI token for a little bit. So Bojack down to about a $636,000 market cap, which was has been steadily at about $1 million. I think somebody else just got liquidated and had to sell a bit. So in the next week, I should be able to buy more. I don't think it'll be at these prices, but I should be able to buy more. I only have about 500 million of these, so I have about 1/2 of 1% of the entire supply. I don't think I'll be able to go and get a full 1%, but I'll try to get up to 0.75. Again, it's just because I'm working on it and have belief in it. It would look kind of weird if I didn't go and try to buy as much as I can. Again, I do have about a week before some funds come in, but I'll try to get that. Either way, the reason I kind of brought this up in conjunction with the Essence is because part of what, Crypto Rain, Dr. Stuff, a lot of really smart people say is hey, good idea to diversify. Why? Because not everything pumps at the same time. One thing will pump first. You can sell some of that, and as long as you're invested in other projects, you can go and take those profits from those pumps, put into the stuff that is yet to pump, arbitrage, vice versa. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. This is just my plans. I cannot give financial advice to anyone here. Moving on. Yeah, there's only about 30,000 in volume on the day for the Bojack coin right now. So right now we're going to go to the OMI over here and take a look at what that's been doing for the day. It's at number 221. So it's at 00062. It is down about 1.6 on the day. 627,000 in volume, so really not a ton. I think GrumpyCat has a little more volume. GrumpyCat usually has a decent amount. Let's take a look-see. No, GrumpyCat has about 138,000 in volume. It's up about 20% on the day. It's to about a $1.6 million market cap. Again, 138,000 in volume. You really like to see that as opposed to the 30,000 that Bojack has. Again, it's still not a lot. You really do want, even what OMI has is relatively very, very low, especially for the type of company it's attached to and all that. So yeah, I would definitely like to see more volume. The only way you're really going to get that is if they can put OMI on the web app, or if they can go and just get some exchanges. Again, David was talking about an expiration date, and that might be happening soon. So hopefully in the first part of next year, they can start talking about the token a little more, and they can go on and, we'll see what happens with France. I don't think they would go to France without having a little something to show. I mean, they already do. They already have the soft staking, on the app for more MCP points. Speaking of which, I think today, it's going to happen tonight. I'm almost at level 53. It'll happen as soon as tonight drops. The points reset at usually like 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't normally get 2,100 points each day. I got that just because I got the Marvels drop yesterday, which I guess, speaking of which, we'll start to go over the VV news. So the Marvels drop yesterday was not a Marvel Mighties. I think because of the success of these statues that you've had recently with, again, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye and Ronin, kind of like B tier characters, maybe C tier characters. Now, Kate Bishop is going to have the Young Avengers that she'll be in. That's pretty cool. They're going to have a bunch of younger people in there. You have Ms. Marvel. You have, like I said, Kate Bishop. You're going to have Ant-Man's daughter, forget Cassie Lang, who I have a bunch of sub-100s of her Mighties. You're going to have Kid Loki. You're going to have Wiccan and Speed, Wanda and Vision's kids. So that'll be fun. It's wild how those came into existence. Watch the WandaVision show. It's pretty good. But again, I really would have liked to have Marvel Mighties. I don't know if this is the end of Marvel. We were supposed to have more this year, and I guess we still might get them. But these were $13, the same as Marvel Mighties usually are. Anyway, the team did make about 40,000 on that within like the first 12 hours. I think it's a little more, like 44,000 at this point. And then today on the Big Bird drop, they got about $44,000. And again, it's been like 8 hours since that happened, so they'll continue to roll in. I really like the way they're doing that, the way that they're going and saying, hey, we're listening, because the first one they had was Cookie Monster that had 5,500 or 5,555 of him, and that was a lot. And people were like, hey, that's kind of a lot. So Oscar the Grouch had 4,444, and then for Big Bird they had much less, I believe. There was 2 of them. So you know how in Oscar the Grouch and Cookie Monster they were their own sets, and then they came out with like the golden versions of them. So Big Bird had only 432 on the secret rare. So if you do the secret rare, 432, and then you have 2778 on the rare. So 2778 becomes 2688, and then I said because they keep 90 of them. So out of the 432, the secret rare Big Bird is only 342. That is not a lot at all. So there's only 3,030 of these in total for both of them. So I really, really do enjoy that. And you can even tell that people really like that in the secondary market, because the secret rare was over $100 before. I'll take a look at what it is now. The rare is well below retail. Again, this retailed, and that's another thing I like. The Oscar the Grouch and the Cookie Monster retailed at $60, which in a bull market is nothing. But in the very, very depths of the bear, especially for NFTs, that's a lot. But they went and said, hey, we're going to have these at $40. So again, they really are listening to us. So this is below half retail at $16.40. And then the secret rare, which I cannot find. I don't know why. Let's take a look. See, here we go. That's actually up. It was like at 117, 110 before. It's up to 131. I think people are realizing, oh, hey, that 432 is not really 432. It's actually 342. And because there are 200 remaining editions, there's actually only 132 that are in existence right now. Oh, I don't think there's really much difference between the two, because they're both animated in sound, and they both have that Big Bird sound, like wahoo, yahoo, like that kind of thing. So the only real difference is that this sign is gold and that sign is green. So I don't know if there's any people that have gone on and just done amazing numbers yet. I think Clever Jerk likes to get the 1, 2, 3s. I do not see the 1, 2, 3 on here, at least for the secret rare. I'll try for the rare and just let you guys know, just to see what they are. The rare on the 1, 2, 3 is also not available. It just might not have been minted yet, so that's something else. Also, speaking of minting, I should talk about the crafting issue that they had. So there was an issue where some guy I knew said, like, hey, listen, I crafted like I was supposed to. You get all 6 of those Flurkin cats, and he didn't give them names. They were just Flurkin 1, Flurkin 2, all the way through 6. And then you can only craft a goose. Goose is the name of the cat. They decided Marvel likes to troll. So Goose is the name of the cat. And it's like you can only get a goose if you get these 6, but you have to buy them from the store. You can't just pick them up in the secondary market. So like, okay, you buy them from the store, it costs $78. And Goose was, I think still is fairly, $47. So yeah, it's worth it to get them, to do it that way. You can't anymore, because I don't know why people did this. They really started to buy the black one, Flurkin Cat number 5, or Fleur Kitten number 5. And I think it's just because no, they have a rare one that's black as well, but it's really cute. It has a little, the little tongue doing the limb. But yeah, that's the one that really got sold out first. Like hundreds of editions left on the Fleur Kitten 4 and Fleur Kitten 6, the other ultra rares. Obviously the Fleur Kitten 1, 2, and 3, those are likely not going to sell out. Even the Fleur Kitten number 4, the ultra rare, that still has 201 editions left. The Fleur Kitten 6 and 5, those are both sold out. Like I said, it's a decent drop. It still made $40,000. But like I said, the other ones likely won't sell out, at least not anytime soon, unless someone wants to come in with a big bag of money and just become the store. I'll get to that in a second, because there are those people that are doing it right now. But anyway, you had these guys that said they got all 6 of these Fleur Kittens, they crafted, and then they crafted again and again. And there are other people that are just like, oh yeah, I'm crafting and it says error, so I tried it again, still says error. I tried it a third time, says error, and then suddenly I have 3 gooses. It's like, oh my god. So Veve did go and shut down the crafting event for X amount of hours until they fixed it. They did fix it, but after they didn't claw back the ones that people had crafted when they weren't supposed to. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little salty about that. I spent $200 something doing it the right way, getting these those 6 kittens from the store, crafted my 3 goose, and people that just got 1 set were able to go and mint multiple. So chalk it up to, okay, those guys got lucky. They win. All right, you get lucky. But yeah, they were pretty quick on that though. As soon as people started saying, hey, there's an issue here, then they kind of went and they took action relatively quickly. So the response time is pretty good. And again, they might have just gone and said, okay, what is the cost of going and tracking all these accounts that they know they only had 6 of these things, only 1 complete set, and then they kept minting. Like, what is the cost of doing that versus and then the outrage that people are going to have, like, oh, you made a mistake, they'll make a big deal about that, versus be like, hey, there's more than enough to go around, let's just let them have this. They probably did that, and okay, well, the latter, the cost of doing that is going to be big. You get a headache for it, versus, hey, let's just let them have this. Again, probably a no-brainer. Again, I'm not on the Veve team yet. I have applied. Whether people want to see me on there or not is another question. I know some do, but likely some don't. Anyway, so I was just talking about the big whales that are going to come in and basically become the store. Let's travel back. Let's travel back to, what was last Saturday? That was the 20... Oh no, it was like the 18th. And the reason I bring up last Saturday, because there was this one guy called B511. Now, B511 was a new person in the top 100, or in the top 500. And he didn't just get like, oh yeah, I was number 640 or 550 last week, and now I'm number 469, No, this person became number 301. This person shot right past me. This person had bought 1,689 NFTs just in 1 week. Again, that was as of last week. That was as of 18 November. So that, that happens once in a while. It happens once in a blue moon that people go and they get that itch, and they go and they spend thousands upon thousands of dollars. Now this week, we have 2. We have 2, count them, 2 marshmallows. That is a SpongeBob reference. 1 SpongeBob, 1 Veve. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because we have 2 accounts that were not in the top 500 last week, but they are now very much in the top 500. And they, the 5B11 or B511, that guy was left in the dust. Because yeah, purchasing 1,689 NFTs is impressive, and becoming number 301 when not previously in the top 500 is also very impressive. But you know what's even more impressive? Rick93. Rick93 became number 237, and he did it by purchasing 1,933 Veve NFTs. And if that wasn't solid enough, the number 2 person to purchase the most Veve collectibles this week was Wisconsinkel. I don't know what that's in reference to, but this person in the top 200 at number 180, and he did it by purchasing 2,162 Veve collectibles in a week. My God, turn me sideways and call me Johnny. Jesus, tap dancing, Christ on a scooter. That is so much. That is so many collectibles, thousands of dollars that they're buying. And again, this is just the number 2 and 3. Number 1 is our beloved Bojack that had purchased one. Okay, so these are not that's the total collectibles I think they have. Because you have Bojack that only purchased 1,119 collectibles. But the dude has 37,000 collectibles. These guys, I think, they now have 1,933. So even if he was not in the top 500 last week, I think he needed 1,291 collectibles to be in the top 500 last week. So even if he had, 1,200, he purchased over 700 NFTs because now he has 1,933. And same thing with Wisconsinkel. Even if they had 1,200 NFTs, now they have, they purchased over 900. So in a week, that is still bananas. And again, we don't know where they were before last week. They could have been close at like 501, or they could have just had relatively new accounts. We don't know. But yeah, Bojack purchasing another 1,119 is heckin' ridiculous. And another thing that I wanted to bring up, considering this, is we do have, we're so close to that 1,300 mark, meaning the top 500 wallets, in order to get there, it becomes harder and harder to do every single week. I was out to dinner with my boy last night. He does not have a lot. He's got like 4 sets. And he completed another set. Like he completed the first Marvel Mighty set, the Captain America. He got the Red Skull is down to like $50. I was like, oh my God, I should get another one. But I didn't because I spent a couple hundred on those Flirt Kittens. And Goose. 3 sets, mind you. Anyway, he goes and he gets that one, and he's like, and I tell him about the top 500. He's like, how do I get in that? He's like, well, sir, are you prepared to spend like $4,000? And he's like, nah. I was like, good. I'd tell you to buy OMI as opposed to trying to do that. But that's just what it takes. I mean, let's say you do it with comics. You can find some cheap comics for like $1.75. There are only so many of those you can buy. Eventually, every now and then I do it. I know Tamara Hanna does it. There's a couple of people that go and they just buy comics for like $1.50, $1.75. They buy them up to $2, wait for them to fall. They do that again. It's just a way of pumping up those numbers. Those rookie numbers. It's a Wolf of Wall Street quote. It's just a way of pumping up those numbers and just to solidify yourself. And so again, to get in the top 500 is becoming increasingly difficult. And this is, we have a couple of guys, like 3 guys in the last 2 weeks that were not in the top 500 that are suddenly in top 300. Heckin' wild. So again, you could do that. You could instead of getting, a million OMI for $650, whatever it is, you can go, and even if you just divide that by 2, it's 325. So you get an extra 325 collectibles, and you do that each week instead of buying a million OMI, or each month, whatever. That's a lot. The top 500 really only goes up about 7 collectibles each week. So if we're extrapolating this, we could do like another 14 weeks, probably, at the end of Q1, it'll be 1,400 collectibles in order to be in the top 500. So yeah, moving on. Also forgot to tell y'all, probably should have put this in the beginning of the video. Bojack Horseman Coin Official, or at ETH Bojack over on the Twitter, says, Bojack Horseman's Megaspace set reminders for 28 November at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Heavyweights from Crypto, Meme Galaxy, Pro the Doge, Real Randy Chavez, Hype Man Alex, Bad Calls, and more. We are going to be on there, and it is going to be, again, there's several 100,000 followers between all of us, most of it from the other people. Not so much from me. I only have 17,000-ish. Anyway, it's just a big space. We're going to drop some alpha in there. We're going to drop some announcements for games and stuff and raffles, so it'll be really fun. Anyway, guys, that's it. There is more stuff to go over, but I am quite busy. I do have to go, and we have I'll be around tomorrow for around the Akomiverse at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I love you guys. I want to say goodbye to Dashi. Goodbye, Dashi. Goodbye.